Look at your current app layout. While it has structural integrity, it currently lacks the visual polish expected from a professional application. We are adding the layers that turn this gray blueprint into a high-end interface. In this session, we execute 4 specific design upgrades: integrating local images, streaming network media, applying global custom fonts, and utilizing scalable vector icons. To follow along, you need your Phase 3 layout open and active in your code editor. Mastering these exact styling techniques bridges the gap between a basic coding exercise and a commercially viable product. Think of the Assets folder as a physical suitcase. Before showing a local file like a logo on screen, you must manually pack it. But packing isn't enough. You have to declare every single item on a customs declaration form. In Flutter, that form is your pubspec.yaml file. This code block shows your exact pubspec.yaml declaration. Notice the strict spacing at the bottom. You must use exactly 2 spaces before the assets line and 4 spaces before the file path. Using the tab key instead of the spacebar will stop the build process. With the image packed and declared, you display it by writing the image.asset widget in your Dart code, pointing it directly at that file path. By default, that image renders as a sharp square. To round the corners, wrap it in a clip rect widget. Then add the boxfit.cover property. This forces the photo to fill its container perfectly without squishing or distorting the aspect ratio. Packing local assets guarantees they will load instantly, even offline. However, stuffing your app with dozens of high-resolution photos will increase the final file size, which can discourage users from downloading it. Large platforms like Airbnb do not pack thousands of property photos into their initial app download. Instead of a suitcase, they use a dynamic delivery truck model. To replicate this, we use the image.network widget. This tells your application to reach out to the internet and stream high-resolution images via URLs purely on demand. These side-by-side screens show the inherent trade-off of network requests. On the left, there is a split-second blank space while the app waits for the data to arrive. Once the download completes, the full image renders on the right. Prioritizing network images reduces your app's install size on a user's phone, while ensuring your interface remains updatable from a remote server. Relying on default system fonts like Roboto or San Francisco can make an application feel generic and limit its brand identity. To fix this, download a .ttf font file, such as Montserrat, and pack it directly into the application's fonts directory. Just like images, you declare these fonts in the pubspec.yaml file. The indentation rules here are specific, requiring 2, 4, and 8 space indentations to define the font family and asset location. Morning tone. You could manually type the font family property onto every single text widget in your app, but as your codebase expands, that becomes inefficient and leads to styling mistakes. The solution is the theme data property at the absolute top of the material app hierarchy. This acts as a global override mechanism to standardize typography across every screen. This wipe comparison shows the immediate app-wide impact. We move from the basic system font on the left to the Montserrat font on the right, upgrading the title, subtitle, and price simultaneously. Global theme management standardizes the visual language across the entire project. It eliminates hours of repetitive manual styling and ensures your design remains uniform as you add new screens. This graphic shows the difference in app imagery. Raster images stretch and pixelate. Vector graphics scale crisply to any size. Flutter's icon library works like a rubber stamp. You select an icon, and the system stamps it on screen with your chosen color and size. Next, we need user input. A raw text field widget placed on a screen is initially just a thin gray line. It provides no context for what the user should type. Wrapping that raw input inside an input decoration structure generates a recognizable digital form, complete with floating labels, borders, and built-in slots for prefix icons. If you are building a password field, the command to hide the text must go directly inside the parent text field widget. Placing it inside the decoration logic will stop the app from running. Crisp vector icons and structured input forms provide the immediate visual clarity required for a professional user experience. These elements ensure that the interactive parts of your screen are both legible and predictable for the user. Look at the finalized user interface. The synthesis of perfectly cropped images, luxury typography, vector stars, and styled input fields creates a cohesive, high-end product. However, this application is currently static. If a user types into that login box, the app instantly forgets the data the moment they navigate away. Styling captures a user's attention, but state management, the architectural ability to capture, hold, and react to data, is what actually transforms a pretty screen into a working software engine. We build that engine in Phase 5.